Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello my dear students. In this class we are going to discuss about barriers to communication. Communication means it is the art of transmitting information, ideas or attitudes from one person to another. So in the last class we studied some 8 elements of communication process, and there we studied noise. So noise means some obstructions or hindrances to communication. In an organization, manager has to face several problems or obstruction due to these communication barriers. These communication barriers may affect the communication process, or filter part of it, or may carry incorrect meaning. So due to which what happens? Misunderstanding may be created. So it is important for a manager to identify such barriers and need to take some measures to overcome those barriers. Okay, so in an organization these barriers may be classified as into different categories as semantic barriers, psychological barriers, organizational barriers and personal barriers. Let us discuss one by one. The first one is semantic barriers. Semantics are concerned with the linguistics, dealing with meaning of words and sentences. So semantic barriers are the linguistic barriers wherein the words would be taken in a different manner. What is being expressed, that meaning is being taken in a totally different manner, because these barriers are concerned with the problems and obstruction in the process of encoding and decoding of a message. Usage of wrong words or faulty translation or different interpretation are caused to these semantic barriers. Some of the examples for these semantic barriers are badly expressed message. Sometimes intended meaning of the message cannot be conveyed by the manager to his subordinates because it occurs due to the usage of wrong words, or else some certain omissions, or else some we can say that different interpretation caused to these semantic barriers. Because of this, intended meaning of the sender cannot be reached to his recipient. Intended meaning cannot be reach the recipient. It may be the communication gets destroyed because of these barriers. Okay. So for example, normally in formal communication we used words like please do as needful. Even if a superior, he would like to tell his workers, please do as needful. Instead of that, if I tell you, do as needful, doesn't it sound very rude? So the expressing the message, if the message is expressed negatively or badly, it will considered as a barrier to communication. And the second one is symbols with the different meanings. A word may have different meanings. One receiver has to receive one such meaning of that particular word for the effective communication. For example, the word value. The word value have different meaning. For example, what is the present value of gold? What is the present value of gold? In the second one, you can assume that I value our friendship. Here, you will find out two different meaning of value in two different contexts. In the first context, what is the present value of gold? Here, value means the price. What is the price of the gold? What is the present value of the gold? Price of the gold. In the second context, I value our friendship. Value means I respect our friendship. That relationship of friends cannot be measured, right? So I respect our friendship. So implementation or application of the wrong perception may lead to misunderstanding, correct? So what symbols with the, we need to understand the meaning of the particular word. So faulty translation. Sometimes the message is in some another language which is not understandable by the receiver. So there we need proper translation. Okay, for example, suppose the message is in English and need to translate it's to say Hindi, because that language is easily understood by the workers. But if the translator is not efficient in both the languages, then here is a chance of translating or sending the message in a wrong meaning, correct? So translator should know both the languages, here English and Hindi. So workers should understand the correct meaning, right? If they understand in different manner, it may affect to the whole activity of the management. So faulty translation also considered as a barrier to communication. Unclarified assumption. Some communication may have certain assumptions and need to be understood by the receiver that need to be understood by the receiver. Okay, so failure to do so may be adversely affect to the whole process of communication. Say for example, a boss may instruct to his subordinate as please take care of our guest. Here boss may mean that take care of the guest about his food, transport, accommodation until he leaves the organization. But here subordinate may interpret that message as taking that guest up to the hotel with the care. Okay, to the hotel with the care. So here, because of wrong interpretation of the message or the assumption of the message, may create some give some inconvenience to the guest. So because of this inconvenience, it adversely affect to the goodwill of the organization. So unclarified assumptions, sometimes unclarified assumptions or interpretation negatively affect the communication effectiveness. Technical jargons. These technical jargons are used by some specialists like engineers or scientists, which is when they communicating with their subordinates, but their subordinates are unspecialized in the concerned field, right? So they may not be able to understand what they are giving, what they are telling, because they are using continuously, they are using some technical words. They are not able to understand or receive that message which is given by the specialist. So at that time, that technical jargons are considered as barrier to communication, barrier to the effective communication. They are not able to receive the exact meaning of such words. So body language and gesture decoding. Every movement of body gives some meaning. Okay, so here in the organizational communication, body language and gesture matters so much in the concept of effective communication. Say if the movement, what we are saying and how we are expressed in our body movement, if it is not matching, then it may adversely affect the communication process, right? So for example, a person shake his head sideways while saying yes, or and vice versa. That is what, shake his head or nod his head while saying no. So it's funny, right? So like such wrong body movements may give wrong meaning to the message. So it is considered as what? Barrier to communication. So these are comes under semantic barriers. Semantic barriers are dealing with the meaning of words and sentences. So the psychological barriers. Sometimes these psychological barriers or the emotional factors of a person may lead to what we can say that influence on the communication process. Person's psychological factor or emotional factors influence on the great influence on the communication process. For example, an angry person cannot understand the message, or the worried person, or we can say angry receiver cannot receive the message in the original form. He is not able to receive what the sender is instructing or what the sender is giving, okay, because he is in a angry mood. So the state of mind of both the sender and the receiver such as like anger or sadness, worry reflects in the communication process. So the psychological barriers concerned to those factors. See, some of the psychological barriers are, first one is premature evaluation. It refers to evaluating the message before the sender even it completes it, okay, before the sender even completes it, due to which misunderstanding may be created. Say some people are always hurry by habit, okay, these kind of people most likely to take quick decision, quick judgment and make a final conclusion. So this premature evaluation, because of his behavior, some people are always hurry in receiving or giving some answer to some person, okay. So this premature evaluation, evaluating the message before the sender even completes the communication or before the sender completes the message. So lack of attention. Sometimes this lack of attention, non-listening of the message by the receiver considered as lack of attention because of latter's preoccupied mindset. Here lack of attention means what? Non-listening of the message by the receiver because of latter's preoccupied mindset act as a barrier to communication. For example, worker or the employee wants to share his personal problems with the boss, and he is sharing some problems with the boss, but boss is preoccupied with some other work. Say he may be busy in checking an important official file. So he is not able to grasp he is not ready to grasp what the worker is saying. So at that time he is not received the message or the problems of the worker. So worker may be disappointed. So lack of attention because of the latter's or the receiver's preoccupied mindset act as a barrier to the communication. Loss by transmission and poor transmission. The information which is the information contained in the message can be partially or completely lost, completely destroyed because of the when the message has to pass through different levels, the message may be destroyed in the middle, in between some of the levels. So this is most common in oral communication. So the information contained in the message, okay, contained in the message is lost partially or completely because of that message is passed through different levels. So when the number of levels are more in the organization, this kind of barrier may happen. So this kind of barrier most common in oral communication. If the people are not attentive or interested in the communication, they are not interested to retain the message for a long time. So this kind of poor retention also a barrier, act as a barrier to the effective communication. Distrust, if the sender and receiver don't trust each other, then they cannot understand the message in the original form. So distrust is also considered as a barrier to the effective communication, and these comes under psychological barriers. Organizational barriers. These organizational barriers are concerned with the rules and regulation, authority and relationship, and organization structure and all. So these rules and regulations or the organization structure may affect the communication process. Under that, first one, organizational policy. If the policy of the organization doesn't give free flow communication between the superior and subordinates, then it affects the communication process, right? So say for example, in the centralized organization, their superiors only have complete authority over the subordinates. They only can communicate freely with the subordinates, and subordinates just act according to the instruction which is given by the superior. So such organizational policy doesn't give opportunity for the free flow of communication. Then here is a chance of one-way communication. So organizational policy of the company also act as a barrier to the communication process. Rules and regulation, strict rules and regulation. Their complete formal communication only is allowed in some organization. So in such organization only one-way communication is possible. Subordinates are not able to communicate freely with their superiors. So such rules and regulations may negatively affect the communication effectiveness. Then status. Here status means in every organization the employees are categorized into different levels. Say top level, middle level, or supervisory levels. Here because of the status, say lower level employees are not ready to freely communicate with the superiors because of this status. For example, lower level employee may be reluctant in sending the message to the superior because of he have fear in his mind that message may be give wrong meaning or may be rejected by the superior. Even if he is right, but he have some fear about the rejection of that information or message. So when we communicating with the superior or in the organization, one person is communicating with the superior, then their status is matters so much. Okay, so then the next one is complexity in organization structure. In some of the organization there is a proper structure they have affected if there are if there are greater number of levels exist in the organization. Of course at that time if the when the greater number of levels are there in the management, then the information or passing of message gets delayed. So complexity in organization structure also, the greater number of organization structure or the levels of management also considered as a barrier to the communication. The next one is organizational facilities. Organizational facilities like facilities provided such as suggestion box, complaint box, or else social and cultural gathering. This type of, if the organization provides these facilities, it helps the individuals or the employees for the free flow of communication. If the organization does not provide these facilities, then there is no chance to the free flow of communication. Individuals are not able to communicate with other individuals in a free mode, right? So organizational facilities. Every organization need to provide such facilities for the clear and smooth flow of communication. Then it helps the organization. If such facilities are provided to the subordinates or the employees, it helps free flow of communication, and through that they can achieve the organizational goals, or they can improve overall performance through the effective communication. And the next one is personal barriers. These personal barriers relates to the personal factor of both the sender and receiver, such as his life experience, emotions, behaviors, attitudes, etc. So here we can say that these factors includes what? Life experience of people, or emotions, or his behaviors, attitudes and all. The first one is fear of, some of the examples of personal barriers are fear of challenge to authority. Here sometimes subordinates, or fear of challenge to authority. Sometimes superiors have some kind of fear, that is if he or she communicates, if the superior communicates some ideas with others, okay, if it is wrong, okay, or wrong, here he may have some fear, that is what is that? He may be demoted to the lower levels, like he have some fear about his authority. He have some fear, that is what? If the message is wrong, then the top level or the superiors may be demoted that superior to the next levels or to the lower level. So that's why he intentionally hide his weakness by not communicating his opinion or his ideas with the others. So superior have to maintain his authority or his levels, he intentionally hide his some weakness by not communicating with the others. So the lack of confidence of a superior on his subordinates. Many times superior don't trust the competence of their subordinates. So their subordinates here, their superiors are not seeks or collects the suggestions or opinions from their subordinates, because they don't have, superior don't have confidence over their subordinates. So subordinates are not allowed to share their ideas or views with the superiors. So it is also considered as a barrier to the communication. Unwillingness to communicate. Sometimes subordinates are not prepared to communicate with the superiors. If they are not prepared, or the content of message is not proper, if they may be, that message may be rejected by the superior, right? So without proper preparation of the content of message and all, it may adversely affect they are not able to communicate with the superiors, and that message may adversely affect to the his personality. Okay, so unwillingness to communicate. Sometimes the subordinate may not be able to communicate with the superior without preparation. So he may take step back from the communication process. Lack of proper incentive. In the organization, if there is no proper incentive or appreciation for the good suggestion and all, then no one or the individual are not ready to give their suggestions or ideas to the management for the success of the organizational objective. And for example, if there is no reward or appreciation for the good suggestion which is given by the subordinate, then in next time he is not ready to or willing to give any suggestions or any good opinions to the management, because he don't have any proper incentive, because the management is not giving proper incentive. So these are all the barrier, the effect to the these are all the barriers may directly affect to the effectiveness of communication.